Hi, Seekers. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Existential Shift. If you so happen to stumble by, my name is Morgainne, and we'll be doing some random questions and answers. So, whatever you have to ask me, go for it. Keep in mind that even if you're watching this after the live, we receive so many messages vicariously through other people's questions, and a lot of my seekers tend to ask questions that can be relevant for the collective. So just go ahead and ask. I'll wait a few minutes, of course, to give an opportunity for more people to join. Hello, QD. Thank you for joining. Everyone who's in the house is welcome to say hi to me. Tell me where you're from, what's your sign, what time is it, where you're at. And of course, if there's something you need to know or you want to know or you need guidance with, or you're just curious about. It's super hot. Hi, Tia. We have a moderator. Great. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it. Ooh, super hot. Okay, I'm going to wait with it. Up until like literally a few minutes ago, it was crazy storm outside with thunder and lightning. Hey, global warming. But now it cooled down and maybe it will return. We'll see. Cancer here. I'm on need of guidance with my son. Well, what's the question about your son? But guys, also feel comfortable in mainly asking questions that are, spiritual, energetic, that can help other people also. But if you want guidance about your son, you'll have to be more specific, Tia, and ask the actual question. Because I don't think I'm going to use tarot. It's just me. So if you guys want to give me, I don't know, numbers, date of birth, you feel comfortable in sharing information. He's been adopted years ago, but I'm in his life. However, I feel he is being led away from me. What do I do? Don't let him be led away from you. If you love him, if you want him in your life, insist. Don't make it about ego. Don't make it about whose job it is to call, be whatever. Insist. Be very, very persistent. And show him that you care about him with actions. Call, email. I mean, don't do it 17 times a day. But, express your presence. Express that your door is always open for him. That whenever he needs something, you can be there. Don't push or impose advice or assistance in any way, but just make it very, very clear constantly that you're there. That's the best you can do. And if you feel like he's being led away from you, meaning maybe you're implying that it's his adopting parents, maybe talk to them. Figure out why. Sammy Hing. Hello, Sammy. How do I move past satanic ritual abuse? Wow. And during my time here on this false reality, I realized I was switched at birth and have absolutely no connection to these people I have known my whole life. You were switched at birth? How so? Are you sure? Tia, that's the path I've been walking, and the validation helps. Thank you for the advice. You're welcome. So like one of the Illuminati families traded me in. Sammy, no. I'm going to burst your bubble. No one traded you at birth. No one from the Illuminati did that to you. If you were actually abused by a cult, by a satanic cult, that's a big deal. You should seek professional therapy, assistance, guidance, psychological and psychiatric. Not necessarily psychiatric, it depends, but definitely psychological. You need a lot of guidance. That's a big deal to go through. The whole theory that you were switched at birth by the Illuminati might be an aspect of trauma. There is a spiritual teacher online who is phenomenal, who also went through abuse by a cult. Her name is Teal Swan. She actually experienced it, so I strongly recommend following her. Teal Swan, Teal Swan. She speaks about a lot about it. There's several videos of her expressing what she went through and how she overcome and etc. So I do recommend that. Okay, but as for the Illuminati switched at birth, it didn't happen. And often we go in our mind to scenarios like that because it gives us meaning. And the reason why we do that for the sake of giving ourselves meaning is when we feel like we don't have meaning, like we don't matter. Often it happens with people who were raised by people who didn't acknowledge them or their importance, or they felt unseen, see-through. So we develop these theories to make ourselves feel valid in the world. Okay, anyone else? Good luck. Destiny Unknown. Hi from Australia, beautiful. Hi, Australia. That's cool. Let's see if I can take a sip now. Ooh, not yet. I know, it's a huge mug. Jar. Destiny Unknown. How can I help myself let go of a man and heal? I can't seem to let go. It's like he put a spell on me. Emily, I'll read you next. So Destiny, and anyone who is wondering how to let go of someone who they love and they can't let go of and they feel like they cast a spell on them, the only way out is in. When you can't resist something, don't resist it. Now, I'm not saying to call him. I'm not saying to connect with him. I'm not referring to your actions, but I am referring to your self-acceptance. Indulge in it. Just completely bathe in it, in your emotions and how it makes you feel loving him, being without him. Don't resist yourself. The more you resist, the more resistance will create. It's a natural, it's law of nature. We push, we get pushed. We resist, we pull, the knot just gets tighter, right? When there's a knot and you pull the two sides of the rope, it only gets tighter. So I'm not saying, so let go means let go of the resistance and the struggle. Feel how you feel. Be completely in it. Suffer through it, and then it will ease, and then you will feel lighthearted, and then you might be even amused. But the only way out of it is in. And again, I'm not saying to act upon it. Don't connect with him. Don't contact him. So, and also, I really recommend watching. I just did a 13th element video about that, actually, that I think will be super helpful for you. It's called True Love, how to tell if it's true love or psychological love. I think it will really, really help you. So it's on my 13th element playlist. Check it out. Okay, I hope this helped. Emily M. I've gone through a lot of sexual trauma and trying and working on healing. Sometimes I don't know how I can heal more. You really inspire me to be a strong woman and be so multiple-sided embrace all. So multiple sides, embrace all. And thank you so much for every video. I learned so much. You're welcome. You're welcome, Destiny. Emily, I've gone through a lot of sexual trauma and trying and working on healing. Sometimes I don't know how I can heal more. We have this thing where we bring our ego to our spiritual work and our healing work, and then refer to it as non-ego. It's not a competition of healing less or more, of constantly being on top of healing. It's okay to have your rhythm. It's okay to not be okay. Sexual trauma, it's a major invasion of your boundaries and of your safety. You're possibly guided to work a lot on setting clear boundaries between you and people. Now, it doesn't have to make sense. You don't have to be polite. You can be so-called paranoid and closed off. You don't have to feel forced to open up and to be flowing, you know. You can be strict and harsh and setting strong boundaries and have a lot of walls. Now, I'm saying this not for the sake of you living this way forever, but because similarly to a different, I think, Destiny, what she asked, the more we resist something, it's like the more we resist our walls, the more bricks we add to them. Accept that you are in pain, accept that you feel invaded, accept that you are sensitive to things that other people may not be sensitive to, and give yourself the protection and the strong boundaries that no one gave you, because it feels like no one protected you. You didn't have anyone to protect you. So now you protect yourself and give yourself that sense of safety. When in doubt, don't open up, don't connect. It's okay. And the more you make yourself feel safe with yourself, the more your inner child, your traumatized fraction of yourself feels like you got it, you got her, you're there for her, the more naturally that part of you will open up and feel safer in the world. And then opening up will be natural, not something that you force. Does that make sense? I hope this helped. Nope, nada. Just wanted to know what is bringing you joy these days. Being here with you guys. Billingsley Meister, what's up? 5 a.m. in Sweden. Cool. Going for a forest walk. Talk to the trees. Hope that coffee is delicious and nutritious. I'm not drinking coffee. I'm drinking chai. It's chai tea with spices and non-dairy cashew milk. Enjoy your walk in the forest and talking to the trees. That sounds awesome. Mason Gobby, met my twin flame a year ago. She's with my oldest friend. He's an abusive narcissist. We were inseparable until his other friends made comments. Now we're forbidden to hang. It's killing me. She's the only one who can break out of him. If you try yourself, she'll just stay more glued to him. I know it's hard, but you need to let her go through that journey. And she'll possibly find you when, if she lets go, don't wait. Watch my 13th element on twin flames, soulmates, and karmics. The T on, it's called Timeless Love. The T on twin flames, soulmates, karmics, and how I actually approach the notion of twin flame. Very rarely you're actually a twin flame. But check it out. It might be helpful. Okay. Emily, thank you so much. Means the world to me. Really helped. Great. I'm happy to hear. Brandy Lopez. Hi, love your readings. Love chai too. Cool. Nope, not a sweet answer. Thank you. The joy grows as it is shared, and that is as it should be. Sabrina. Hi, Sabrina. You're a moderator and a channel member. Awesome. Right. You always give the timestamps to the Avalon, to the Good Morning Avalon. Thank you. Okay, let's see what else. Full equipped, yeah. Thank you, Tia. Hello, Gary. Okay. I'll take a sip waiting for any other question. Yum. I'm just sitting here sipping. You can ask me questions about yourself, and you can ask me questions that are relevant for the collective. Sabrina, when it's my turn, can I ask you something? Yeah, there's no turns. Just write your question. Do you see numbers? I'll answer whatever I get to read. I will, if there will be any super chats, I will prioritize. But otherwise, I'm just gonna read through you guys. Brandy Lopez, I'd love to know if a long cycle is finally gonna end for me. Brandy, if a long cycle is finally gonna end for you. Well, just generally speaking, every end of a cycle is simultaneously a beginning of a cycle, right? Because it's like a swirling tornado. It's not like separate circles. It's just one linear cycle after cycle after cycle. So I think the challenge lies in your question, because you have the power to end cycles. That's the whole point. It kind of depends on you. Now, planetary shifts, energy-wise, it's a very powerful time for endings and beginnings. We're shifting and transforming in a molecular structure and expanding. So by default, everything that doesn't align or resonates with the new frequency naturally falls to the sidelines. So instead of focusing on ending an old cycle, focus on beginning a new cycle and let the old one just naturally drop. Of course, do the actions. If there's something that no longer serves you and you don't want it in your life anymore, put an end to it. Break up. Quit. Have that conversation. Move. Whatever it is. But on top of the intent, there has to be an action, followed by an act that creates a new cycle. Good luck with that. Emily, is there anything that you do on a daily basis that helps to stay grounded, present? Yeah, I am present. Not kidding. This is not, I feel something, I stop, I acknowledge it. I don't shun any parts of myself or aspects of myself. I don't deny thoughts. I don't meditate telling myself that it will bring me enlightenment when it's just, spiritual bypassing and I'm trying to kind of evade pain. You're sad, be sad for a moment. You're happy, laugh. like a baby. Not kidding. I'm not saying be crazy and tactless in public, but honor how you feel as it happens. You're tired, rest. You're energized, dance. Do some work. Don't do work. Really, really, really listen to yourself, to your body, even if they're wrong. Now, other than, of course, I'm not referring to a side of um, addictions, right? When your body craves, if you're an alcoholic and your body craves alcohol, if you're a drug addict and your body craves drugs, that's not what I'm referring to. And that you need help with, okay? But anything else that is within the natural range of emotion, acknowledge it in the moment. That's what I do to stay grounded all the time. I don't try to move away from this physical reality. I move through the physical reality, which is very spiritual. Okay, I hope this helped, Emily. Um, let me turn on the AC. You guys are finding feathers. Oh my gosh! I just kicked the table. Emily, everything you say is so helpful and it's the truth. Thank you. You're welcome. Bless you too, Brandy. Right. Anyone has any other questions? Just turn on the AC. Gotten a little hot. Moderators, can you do some moderating, please? Sabrina, if I'm not in the theme, you don't have to answer. Stop apologizing and ask a question. It's just that I'm walking through hell, while shining bright my light, but my sun, moon, Taurus is in a totally different energy. You think I should give this a chance? Give what a chance? I'm not sure I understand what you're referring to when it comes to give this a chance. So if you want to be more clear. So it's, I'm walking through hell while shining bright my light, but your sun, moon, Taurus is in a totally different energy. What does that mean? Oh, so you're talking about a different person, that he is a Taurus sun and a Taurus moon? Because I thought you meant your sun in Taurus and your moon in Taurus. Okay, so you're referring to a different person. Okay, let me reread it and understanding it better. No, don't worry. Walking through hell, shining your bright light, but a person you're dealing with who's a double Taurus is in a totally different energy. The boyfriend. Okay, so you're partnered with him? I guess. Do you love each other? I mean, are you mutually in love? Like when you say that he's in different energy, what do you mean by that? In what way? So you're walking through hell and shining your bright light. Okay. So in comparison to that, if he's in a different energy, what he's walking through on the earth and just hanging out, I'm not being sarcastic. I do, but he's not going well at all. You're gonna have to be more clear with your question. I think you might be confusing yourself. It feels like the situation is actually quite simple, but for some reason you're complicating it. He thinks all of his problems are your fault. Well, if you have the dynamic of the wounded and the healer, it's not a healthy dynamic. It sounds like you're in a very challenging, miserable relationship. Now, I don't tell people what to do. I don't tell people, oh, you should break up, or oh, you should be together, unless he's abusive, and then absolutely break up. But I think what you can do is sit with yourself and ask yourself, in a relationship, in a loving relationship, who do I want to be? And what kind of a man do I want to be with? Do you want to be with someone who keeps dragging you down and can't deal with life and projects his issues onto you? And do you want to be the person who constantly eats it up? Stay. I'm not kidding. If that's what you need to go through right now. But if that's not what you want for yourself, if that's not what you want for your future self, then don't stay. I wrote once, there are no questions, only answers we wish to manifest real. What kind of a life do you wish to lead? Because you can love anyone. Everyone is worthy of love. And falling in love is always legitimate. But does it work? Does it make you happy? Can you build together? I think this whole obsession in the spiritual community today of twin flames and relationship through telepathy and healing him or healing her through their dark times, like, can you just get the fuck over it? It's getting boring. This whole excusing abuse. Or excusing misery. Really, what's the point of all of this? I'm not telling you stay or break up. I'm telling you, what is your happy? Really sit with yourself. What is your happy? And then make a decision from there. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, by the way. Either way, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to stay with him. It's not going to be easy to break up with him. So you may as well make the decision that will get you to your next self. 1977 Jillian. Hi, beautiful. Hi, beautiful. Good to catch you. And OMG, I was meant to walk in at this time. Good. Sabrina, thank you for being an awesome moderator. Now, if my moderators can moderate my crowd here, I'd be super happy as well. On top of asking questions, of course, you may. Brandy Lopez. Okay, I have a question. Cool. Me and husband have been separated for a long time. Okay. He abandoned the relationship to be with the other woman who was a coworker. He claimed she understands him. All right. I believe they're still together, but he has refused to file the divorce all this time. I don't understand why. I don't understand why you're not filing a divorce. And if he's not cooperating, pursue his ass. You're in no way supposed to wait for him to file for a divorce. And this is not me demonizing him for being with someone else that he fell in love with. It's okay. What's not okay is keeping you stuck. And I'm saying this to you, not to him. Why are you keeping yourself stuck? I'll tell you why. You think that if he's not filing for a divorce, it's because he plans on coming back someday. And you're waiting on it. Wait no more. Moderators, if you're wondering, asking to press the like and to support with super chat and subscribe if someone is new. If you could do that, that'd be great. And if someone else wants to do that, let me know so I can make you a moderator. If you want to, let me know. Brandy, honestly, ego, LOL. I don't think I should have to pay for it. You don't think you should have to pay for your freedom? I mean, ideally, no one should pay for their freedom, but if you're not free and money can get you to freedom, pay for it. And the whole money thing, I think it's also something that you tell yourself as well. Emily, you're officially also a moderator. Welcome to the family of moderators. Love you guys. I have Tia, Sabrina, and Emily. By the way, you don't have to be moderating. Just so I'll know, if you're not into it today, then I'll be able to have someone else do it. That's all. That's it. Brandy, that's a fair question. Yeah. All right. You guys are cool beans. Yes, I just said cool beans. Louis, what sign are you? I'm Taurus. My sun sign is Taurus. It's okay, Emily. It's fine. Anyone else? Hello, James. Hello, love your videos. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. It's super hot, but I insist on drinking hot chai, which is ridiculous. But it's just tasty. Yes, you may ask a question, James. Anyone who's just joined, you may ask a question. Hello, Mr. Black. Welcome. Your names are awesome. I will prioritize questions that can benefit the collective, but ask me anything. Your name is James Black, so we have James Frank and Mr. Black, and it becomes James Black. Is that your question? I just answered, Sabrina. It's Taurus. I'm a Taurus. Okay, so I am James Frank. Okay, so I am psychic myself and trying to get my business off the ground. Can you tell me what you are picking up? When it comes to, does your business have to do with being psychic, or is it something else? And you're just mentioning that you're psychic. Like, is it a spiritual business? Tell me your date of birth, James Frank. Like month and day. No, the business is psychic tarot business. Okay. James's business. James business. James psychic tarot business. December 12, 1978. You're female and you're called James? Very cute. So you're an Ophiuchus or a Saggy, depending on how you look at it. 1978, so 12, 12, 7. 337-1013. Okay, so Miss Frank, dive as deep as you can to the occults. Any occult knowledge you can read about, study, pursue. You're very, very good at it. You have a very natural um, inclination. It's not as much witchcraft, more so theology of witchcraft, if that makes sense. A lot of just knowledge, ancient knowledge, esoterics, picking up on keys of Enoch, Miftachot Chanoch. I think you want to read Keys of Enoch. What's your first name? Just tell me your first name. Serpent Bearer. Tell me your first name. Just your first name. It's not a big deal. Guys, I need it immediately when I ask for it. It's not like impatience. It's just I need it. Okay, Abby, that's fine. That's fine, Abby. You're right about not wanting to share your name, generally speaking. You understand the power that names have and letters have, but you need to also understand that it's something that you inherently, from past lifetimes, have the power to do with people's names. It's not something most people are able to do or tap into. So your fear comes from the potential of what you are able to do with names, but not something that anyone will actually use against you. And it's also not something anyone will use against you. It's something you may have abused in the past. And when I say abused in the past, I'm referring to like past, Abby. You are very, very powerful. You have a lot of energy. The guidance is to restrain your energy, not in ways of suppressing yourself or suppressing your power, not at all, but in ways of knowing how to channel it proportionally to each circumstance. That's what I mean. Okay? You can be a wonderful leader, but you tend to flare up emotionally. You have a lot of power to either create or destroy. So for some reason, I'm not sure why, but the book, The Keys of Enoch, there is something there that will guide you really, really well. Leave those since when you've been reading professionally. I don't care if it was 2 years, 20 years, or 200 years, which is more likely because you've been doing occult a long time. Another career, unless it's very, very creative and crazy, you won't survive it. I think spiritual career, energy career is very, very good for you. I think you'll do very, very well. But I'm trying to catch you now with all of your energy and in a way kind of help you mold it for yourself. If you feel inclined, I recommend my own Tarot Masterclass Bunkai, because then you're going through a shamanic journey with me. It's not necessary. You've got the knowledge. You just need something to help you channel all this energy. Because what I'm worried about you is when you get mad. Abby, I'm worried about when you get mad. When you unintentionally say bad things towards someone, like, and it could be super legitimate. The person could be a whole other level of jackass, right? What most people can afford saying and what you can afford saying, two different things, because your words have a lot of power. Thank you, Emily, so much for the $6.99 Canadian dollars. I'll read you in a second. I just want to finish up the message with Abby, and then I'll come to you, okay? Thank you. But Abby, I do see you. You can be very, very successful with your new business. It's just your energy needs your own guidance. Don't read Aleister Crowley, not because I have anything against him. It's not personal at all. Specifically with you, I don't think you're at a point where it will do you good reading Crowley. So if you have his books or were thinking about his books, not yet. I'm picking up 10 years from now. Okay? I hope this helped. Emily, I'll be right with you. I want to see if I didn't miss out on something. Hold on. Brandy. Oh wait, we had Lewis. Lewis, a message from Spirit for you. I'm not tapped. You need to give me more. Either give me numbers or ask me specific questions. Brandy, OMG, I didn't know. It keeps jumping. Sorry, I didn't know you could go off my energy with name and date of birth. What do I need to do to get my beauty messages? My beauty massage, what Reiki and tarot business off the ground? I tried before and it failed. But recently, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm going to give preference to the super chat because it's only fair, and then I'm going to move on to others. So, sorry, Emily. I want to learn more, but I don't know what's out there or where I should start. What is right for me? Do you know if something is fit for me? I would always first and foremost recommend my own Tarot Masterclass Bonkai because I trust myself and I trust my guidance. Of course, I'm not objective. A completely subjective recommendation. You study the tarot, but it's not even about becoming a tarotchi, which you will due to it, but it's a shamanic journey. It's a spiritual guidance. It opens a lot of portals, and I guide you responsibly. So the first thing I'll recommend to anyone who wants to touch this world is my Tarot Masterclass Bonkai. But let's see if anything else comes up for you. If you want me to know if fit for you, give me your numbers, your date of birth. Abby, I will look into taking your shamanic course. Cool. Awesome. You're welcome. Emily, you've been thinking and looking into it. Cool. May 18th, 2001. Taurus. 593. Emily, 593. Emily, I recommend purchasing a rune kit and just playing with the runes. You don't have to learn them, although you could, of course, read about them, but just have them around. I think they will trigger a lot for you. Have runes in your vicinity, just have them in your purse. Pick them up occasionally, just have them in your hand, meditate on them randomly on different runes when you feel inclined to. You're welcome. Brandy, 10/21/1982. Guys, best way with me is either ask me a specific question, or if you have a vague question, messages from spirit, give me your numbers, your date of birth. Okay? I'm scrolling up to see if I missed anything. I don't think so. We are on 45 minutes. I will leave before 1 hour. Hey, Marina. Welcome. Brandy, did I not answer your question? What was it? If I miss out on your question, either write it again because the chat moves, or super chat and then I'll see it for sure. But if I miss it and you can't super chat, just write it again. So Brandy, you're October 21, 1982. Brandy, you're gonna have to ask me the question again. Write it down because I can't find it out. About your massage business and tarot getting off the ground. Okay. Brandy's business. Thank you, Sabrina, for the 149. I really appreciate it. Thank you, love. Appreciate you. Brandy's business. Wait, but I remember you said Reiki, but Reiki is not a massage. Is it massage and Reiki? Are you a Libra or Scorpio? Let me think about it for a second. One, 3, 2. Sabrina, from here on, I forbid you from apologizing. You no longer should apologize for anything. Just roar. Okay? You incorporate with your massage service and reflexology. Okay. All right. This is the message that is coming. Don't. So, I don't mean don't do the business. I mean, don't do a massage and give Reiki at the same time. Separate it. Give the massage as a massage, and then give a Reiki treatment as Reiki treatment. Okay? Something about the mixing them together is not working. Not sure why, I'll be honest with you. So the message is to separate the two and just offer like 2 different services. You want a massage? Great. You want a Reiki session? Great. It's different focus. And I don't know what Reiki level. Okay, you're not at a level where you can have 2 types of different focus at the same time. So when you do massage, it's one aspect of your brain that is functioning, and when you do Reiki, it's a different aspect of your brain that is functioning. And currently, you're not at a place yet, perhaps, that can function both of them simultaneously. So one always gets lost. You got to be able to focus on either this or this. So I hope this helped. MB, am I in the right field? A lot of opposition from others at work for years. What is that all about? Why does MB have a lot of opposition from others at work? You need to consider the possibility that it's not a good place for you, and that they reflect your spirit's resistance. Like they are a manifestation of how your spirit resisting you being there. And I'm not sure why you want to stay there, why your avatar, like why your conscious mind would want to stay there when your stomach doesn't. You need to ask yourself and try to answer yourself genuinely, why are you there? And when you say those and when you write those reasons down and then you say them out loud, the way they sound to you, if it sounds off and weird and not good enough of a reason, that's your answer. If you're staying to prove people wrong, it's not good for you. It's a lose-lose situation, even if you so-called win. Might be a waste of time. And if you're asking if you're in the right field, you're probably not in the right field. The right field for us is something that we're passionate about, that we enjoy, that we can't see ourselves not doing. And it's okay that it changes. But once it changes, move on. Okay? Good luck. How will Jane Doe do in her interview? Mr. Black, and I'm sorry, but it's not really any of your business if I'm single. Ask me questions that can help you and help others. I will do a Q&A on Patreon for my patrons that they could ask me private questions, and I reserve the right to not answer if I'm not in the mood or if I don't feel inclined. But I won't do it here on YouTube. Sorry. B5ing. Thank you so much for the $3. I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Why are Virgos so underappreciated? Because people don't appreciate kindness and service. Take it as a compliment. Virgos are amazing. Hello, everyone. Just got here. Can you start over? Huh? Hello. I teach tarot. The shamanism is an aspect of it. Shamanism is a bridge between the worlds. It's spiritual work. Let's see. How will Jane Doe do on their interview on August 16th? However you'll do, it's karmic. I don't like saying these things, but I don't think there's something you can do to make it better or worse. I think there's a learning experience there. You're going to go there and things will happen in a way that as much as you prepare, you're going to be like, how is this happening? But I prepared, or it is. It's like everything is so weird. It's okay. Don't take it as like either good or bad, but take it as something that your psyche wanted to experience. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just also not saying it's necessarily good. I'm saying I don't know exactly, but I do know that you're going to prepare anyway. Either way, do the work. But going there will feel like you have no control over it and things are weird. Okay? That's the answer that you need to get, Jane. I understood your question and I gave you the answer that I feel like you need to get. I don't think it's relevant if you'll get the job or not. I think the experience of that job interview is something. And don't get mad. It's when you get mad like that is why things don't work out for you. Okay, I feel you right now. I don't. No. You're welcome. Sorry. I'm scrolling to see if I missed anything. I know that. Chanel Johnson, thank you so much for the $4.99. I appreciate it. It's very kind. Which energies do you think we should be healing the most at this time? I love this question. Thank you for this question. So we as a collective, you mean? Okay. I think the most important thing for us to heal as a collective right now is self-gaslighting. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of gaslighting from their environment. It's because we gaslight ourselves. Tell yourself the truth. Why you do things, why you love someone, why you like something, why you're staying somewhere, why you're not staying somewhere. Not with judgment, not with criticism. Just admission. Simple admission. I'm not even referring to doing something about it or fixing anything. Just admission. We deflect ourselves constantly. You're welcome, Mr. Black. All of you, if you haven't, and even if you have, watch it again. Watch my 13th playlist, my 13th element video on my 13th element playlist. A narcissist is an empath who had enough. Empath versus narcissist, the triggering truth. It's a triggering one, but I think it relates to your question, and it could be very helpful. Because a lot of us in the spiritual community have a very hard time with dealing with our pain. We mock psychology and negative emotions like we're above it. We're not above it. Being above it is being below it. And using spirituality to spiritual bypass your life, that's not spiritual. Spirituality is truth. And many people in the spiritual world have gone through very traumatic or difficult, challenging childhood for a reason. It's the thing that pushes us to discover our core. It strips us off of everything and forces us to face ourselves. You can't discover your brightest light without facing your darkest shadows. Light casts shadows. The path to light is through darkness. The path to day is through the night. But we can't deal with it because the darkness is so dark and there's a lot of pain in us. But that's the way. The way to God goes through hell. And I'm not saying to self-abuse yourself or seek misery, no. But the misery that you already have, that was already imposed on you, it's not divine to seek it or to impose it on yourself. But if your path imposed it on you, embrace it, work with it. Even if I walk through the valley of shadow and death, I fear no evil, because thou is with me or something. I forget the actual quote, but I think it's misinterpreted. It's not about, even if I walk through this horrible place. No, it's about, even when I'm walking through this challenging path towards you, I know you're waiting in the other end for me. There's so many biblical verses that I feel are so misinterpreted. We're just a bunch of dumbass. Sorry. We mean well. We mean well. Lovely dumbasses. Sweetest dumbasses ever. I'm a Virgo rising. I'm not a Virgo. My rising is in Virgo. MB. So yeah. Find your spirituality, find your truth, find your light through feeling the pain and the anger. I'm not saying act upon it. Don't hurt anyone. Don't drown in it. Swim in it. It's going to be okay. Anything else? Let me see if I missed out on anything. Chanel, I hope this helped. And thank you for your question. Thank you, everyone, for your questions and for your trust. I appreciate it very, very much. Sorry, I'm in my staring mode. Okay, guys, if this is it, then I will say adieu. Goodbye, farewell, au wiedersehen, adieu. For you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Did I show you the candle? MB, do you think God comes by awakening others? I think God is walking on this planet in the form of animals. And the reason why we're not with God is because we treat animals horribly. Lev Tolstoy said, as long as there are slaughterhouses, there will always be battlefields. I think us paying to incarcerate and torment animals to then indulge on their misery and death is despicable. And that we need to stop. Heaven on earth has existed, and we didn't eat animals. That came later with division. You want heaven back? Create the same terms. Utopia, where everyone is happy except for animals because we indulge on their flesh. That's awesome, Abby. Lee, am I on the right path? I feel torn. If you feel torn, you might be walking on two separate timelines. A lot of sensitive people, it happens to them, where they're in two separate timelines simultaneously, meaning energetically in one possibility of your narrative of your life and also energetically on another possibility of your narrative of your life. Sometimes it comes from being extrasensory and hypersensitive. Sometimes it comes from trauma and what's the word? There's a professional term for it, I forget. Fragmentation. When the system goes through something so painful, the psyche detaches itself. It happens a lot in trauma. It happens a lot within adults that suddenly just, stare into the abyss and can't deal and can't focus. Something triggers that trauma, so they go to their happy place. The brain just does it. Okay. Now, when I say either trauma or being extra sensitive, it's kind of the same because trauma makes us extra sensitive and often makes us extra sensory, kind of pushes us there. So, heal the wound that created the split. Um, take your different aspects within. Don't push any aspect of you away. If you're torn, take these two torn pieces and accept them and love them equally. With, again, no judgment. People forget unconditional love includes yourself, and you can't really give anything to anyone that you can't give yourself. People who really don't love themselves but cling to unconditionally love someone else, it's not that they unconditionally love someone, it's that they're obsessed with them and want them to validate them. So be torn and love yourself for it, and love the aspects that are torn, as many as there are. See where they all lead to, right? All streams lead to the ocean. So all your fragmented pieces lead to your soul. So see the core wound where the split happened. And don't do it with pressure to fix yourself. We're all torn. We're absolutely normal. There's nothing to fix. It's just a path to walk. That's all. Good luck. Marina, some Indian doctor suggested that kosher meat is good for our soul. Well, kosher in Judaism comes from for the sake of compassion towards animals. Basically, it means, I think there's no such thing as humanitarian killing. I think it's bullcrap. But originally in Judaism, the reason why kosher evolved is when mankind started eating meat, started eating animals. So these laws of kosher were made in order to prevent or minimize as much suffering for the animals as possible. So, for example, kosher meat ideally means, it doesn't really happen in practicality, unfortunately, but it's supposed to be that the animal didn't suffer and that it died really fast. And it was treated with respect before that. Again, I think either way it's corrupt. But that's the notion behind it. And also to not mix meat and dairy comes from the old age where the meat and the dairy came from one farm. You would drink the milk of the cow and eat the flesh of cow's baby, right? So to mix the baby's flesh with the cow's milk was basically meaning that you take advantage of the cow, but you also cook part of her with her baby. So it's considered spiritually corrupt. So the whole notion of kosher is about and for the animals. So if you're vegan, you're automatically kosher. And Jewish in that regard, the spiritual aspect of it, the moral aspect behind it. So I'm assuming, Melina, that that's what he meant, that because it's kosher, the animal suffered less, meaning it rottens our soul less. But either way, I don't buy into that. I think it may have applied in the old days, but not in today's industry. Kosher is not really kosher anymore, even if it has stamps of kosher. These animals suffer. I've seen it in my own eyes. I've seen those kosher slaughterhouses. They're just as tormented everywhere. Nice notion that people hold on to feel better about themselves, but bottom line, bullcrap. pay for meat, you pay for torture and for animal cruelty, whether you like it or not. Point, bottom line, fact. MB, do you believe in reincarnation and alternate universes? Yes. Yes to both. But more so less in chronological past, present, future, more so parallel, because quantum physics already proved that there is no actual chronological time. Everything happens simultaneous in infinite possibilities of universes. So, your imagination can go all on with the possibilities of what that means. Infinite versions of ourselves. Is that the reincarnations that happen simultaneously? Maybe healing a past reincarnation is actually helping a parallel self heal from something, and then we combine into, instead of two parallel universes or two separate realities, into one, aka colliding timelines. And the more we collide timelines, the more we connect alternate universes, the more we are closer to source, right? It's like connecting the pieces of the broken vase that got shattered into infinite particles. So you heal one aspect of yourself parallel to you. And I believe that miraculous healing is when a parallel self to us elsewhere, parallel, has done something massive to heal, and it just immediately trickled to us. Sabrina, I'm vegan, and you know what? That's not crazy. I like it. For those who eat meat, the animal shouldn't feel fear or cruelty before its death to be eaten, because food-wise, the meat will. So, transmutation, right? Whatever you eat, that's biology, science. Whatever you eat becomes a part of you. It gets transmuted into your cell, physically, energetically, spiritually. And fear, anxiety, and horror, terror, it has chemicals. The animals, they release these immense chemicals, these chemicals of immense tension and fear and anxiety, and it all goes through your flesh, and then you eat it. And we're mad, and we're anxious, and we're suffering. We take that suffering, and in a way, it's karma, right? We impose the suffering on this innocent being, and then we eat it, and bring it back into our body. That's that's the essence of karma, cause and effect. Global warming, climate change, it's because of what we do to Mother Nature and its babies. Her babies, sorry. Is veganism better than being vegetarian from the point of view of helping animals? Yes. And it's also way healthier, speaking of karma. So let's talk biology a little bit. Human life expectancy currently is about 80, 90 years. We grew up, right? It used to be 40 years, 30 years. We used to die way younger. Now about 80, 90. Human life capacity can go to 130, 140. The human body is a mechanism. If you treat it ideally, can go a long way. And I'm not saying like old and crinkled and miserable. I mean like vital. Where think of a car that you're constantly putting the wrong fuel in it. This is a glorious machine. Treat it right, will serve you well. That's true, what Sadhguru said. But the thing is, biologically, we're supposed to eat plants. We're not supposed to eat animals. So I don't judge a carnivore for eating animals, although I'm quite aware that the animal probably doesn't enjoy it, the prey. If it's a necessity misery because we're bound to this dualistic 3D world, so be it. We're in this experience for that. But then, us as vegetarian creatures, biologically, there's absolute no excuse for us causing so much misery and destruction. Even carnivores don't eat for fashion or for culture or for fun. They kill because they need, and they kill with what they need, and that's it. They do it fast in nature. We brought it to a whole demonic level, whole other demonic level. Like, because it's tasty. Yeah, I know it's tasty. So many things are tasty and fun. I bet slave owners really enjoyed owning a slave. It was really, really comfortable. And when you wanted to take away slavery, they said to themselves, but we've been doing this for decades, for generations. It's how it is. It's so comfortable. It's so great. It's not a reason. It's not a reason. Other things are tasty too. Okay, guys, I think I'll leave it at that. I want to thank you for joining me, for staying tuned. I appreciate you guys very much. Stay magic. Stay true. I love you.